calling together the Board of Appeals meeting for November 13th, 2019 at 7:03. The first case is case 1919, James Mangano, map 34, parcel 114, 30 Burnap Street. It was continued from the October 9th, 2019 meeting, and I understand that the applicant is further wishing a continuance to the next meeting due to the absence of one of the members?
Correct.
Okay. We have a request to continue. Does anyone care to make a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion to continue case 19-19 to December 11th, 2019.
We have a motion to continue. Do we have a second on that?
I'll second.
We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The matter is continued to the next meeting on, December 11th, 2019. Then the next case and the last case on the docket is case 2019. Applicants Paul Catalano, map 100, parcel 655, 16 Longview Road, to acquire a special permit under 6.6.7.7 for the Groundwater Protection District.
Mr. Chairman, I represent the applicant.
Hi, Attorney Peterson, how are you?
Mr. Chairman, I'm fine. Thank you very much for asking.
All right, what do we got?
Mr. Catalano has applied on behalf of the Farrells, who are the homeowners at 29 Freeport Drive in Wilmington. They're seeking to put an addition on their home, and because the impervious area with the addition would exceed the maximum allowed by the bylaw, they need a special permit. I would ask you to note, Mr. Chairman, that when this house is done and completed, the impervious area on this lot is actually decreasing from a little over 20% to under 13% because of the underground infiltration system that has been designed for this lot.
Okay, before we go to the board for any questions of the applicant, I do want to read into the record the recommendations from engineering. Do we have a recommendation from planning on this as well? Might as well read that in there as well. Okay, the planning board at its meeting of November 7th, 2019, Tuesday, November 5th, 2019, they voted unanimously as follows to recommend approval. Groundwater recharge is proposed to mitigate the increase in impervious area in the groundwater protection district. So they voted to approve. Engineering, Paul Looney, the town engineer, on November 7th, 2019, regarding this application, sent a letter to the board and indicating that they reviewed the application for the addition to the existing dwelling at 29 Freeport Drive. They offer the following comments to the project. The engineering division of the Department of Public Works performed a technical review of the project at 29 Freeport Drive for the increase in impervious area on the property to a 20.3% coverage. The engineering division has reviewed the documents referenced above, finds that the proposed recharge system demonstrates compliance with the special provisions of Groundwater Protection District, specifically zoning bylaw 6.6.7.7. However, we do note that the Board of Health records indicate the existing on-site soil absorption system, the septic system, is in close proximity to the proposed recharge system location. The proposed recharge system must be relocated 25 feet away from the septic system in accordance with 310 CMR 15 Title 5 regs. We recommend the board grant the special permit for the project with the recharge system's static storage volume as shown, but require that the recharge system be shifted to be 25 feet from the septic system. The revived plans showing the septic system location and relocated recharge system shall be included for review by the engineering division when filing for the required simple stormwater management permit and the building permit. So they're recommending approval with that provision regarding the 25 feet. So do you want to address the board on that?
Yeah, I have no concerns with Paul's comments. I was unaware of Paul's comments. I was aware of the planning board recommendation.
Okay.
And I will speak to Paul directly about that, and I have no issues with relocating the infiltration system.
Okay.
There's plenty of room in the lot to relocate it.
Sure. Does the board have any questions of the applicant before I go to the go and open up the public hearing? No questions? Okay, I'm going to open up the public hearing. Any folks here want to be heard on this application?
We are the Farrells at 29 Freeport Drive.
Oh, you're the applicant?
We are, yes.
Okay, well, nice to see you.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
So it doesn't look like we're going to have any comment other than to please grant what we're looking for. Okay, all right, since I'm gonna close the public hearing then, board, what's your pleasure?
Can I just ask a question? On the map, I was just wondering of this map, so is this the driveway that actually goes next to the building? Just curious.
The lighter line, Jackie, is the existing driveway, so it's a horseshoe.
So on the side here, is that? Right there. Yeah, but does this driveway go out, like, next to it?
The driveway's there on the right.
That might be a walkway right there, if that's what you're
Oh,
asking.
okay. All right, that's all I want to know. There's a walkway next to the garage. Okay.
Anything further? Anyone care to make a motion?
Make a motion to grant a special permit for case 2019, 29 Freeport Drive, for a special permit for 6.6.7.7 for the groundwater protection district, with the provision that a site plan with the proximity of the infiltration system to the existing septic system be illustrated as required by the town engineer,
25 feet.
25 feet.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second on that motion? All those in favor? Unanimous, 4-0.
Can I
Thank
make
you.
an observation, Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
I've suggested to the planning board that when this bylaw was adopted, there was no stormwater management bylaw.
Mhm.
So the entire process to get a stormwater management permit now runs through the planning board. And I've suggested to the planner that it may be advantageous to amend this bylaw to make the planning board the special permit granting authority for these types of special permits, since the actual permitting process now runs through them. And they've already reviewed that prior to it getting to this board. And it just would make sense if they had the authority to issue those permits.
What I would
Somebody else-
suggest, I mean, anything to make our meetings quicker, I guess. What I would suggest is that you speak to the director
I have.
and perhaps have them run it, have that person run it through town council
Yeah.
and maybe put it on the warrant.
I mean, it just makes logical sense to have them grant these permits, because as you can see, not only has the planning board reviewed it,
Right.
taking a look at it, the town engineers already looked at it.
I don't know if there's any statutory requirement that it come before us other than the local bylaw, but I mean, town council should be able to handle that for you,
And
but
when
I have no problem.
When the original bylaw was adopted, there was no stormwater management permit. So
Right.
it was strictly, and there was no requirement that any infiltration be adopted. So,
If it's a stormwater management permit, I think it would be fine, but you would have to, the bylaw would have to be amended if it's a
Correct.
special, if
Right.
it's a special permit.
Correct.
That's correct.
Because
Yeah.
they can't issue
I
a
just don't
special
know if there's
permit.
any, I just don't know if there's
and
any.
they have the authority to issue certain types of special permits now.
Right.
So it would only
Yeah.
be an advancement of that authority.
Sure.
For this particular bylaw.
I just don't know if there's any state statutory requirement that it come before us. I don't think there is, but town council should be able to figure that out. Yeah, I have no problem with that. All right,
Thank you very much.
good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
That actually concludes the docket of the cases for this month. I do note that we have an agenda item to review and approve the minutes from October 9th, 2019. I would request perhaps that we table that till we have a full complement of members.
Okay, sure.
We can just do it at the next meeting, because I want to be able to have Tom weigh in on that if he wants.
Okay.
So, does anyone care to make a motion to table that to the next
I'll make
meeting?
a motion to table the approval of the minutes till December 11th.
Okay. Do we have a second on that? You have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I think that, that might be a record. That concludes the business of the Board of Appeals for tonight. Does anyone care to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Bingo.